the star of the show is limbering up for what is a famously physical stage act.
I'm Bruce Dickinson, and I'm the lead singer of Iron Maiden.
Iron Maiden's frontman extraordinaire is in person an engaging character, and a man of many and varied talents. When the band clambers aboard the Boeing 757, nicknamed Ed Force One, that jets them around the world, Bruce climbs into the cockpit. He's going to fly the plane. Because Bruce is a qualified professional pilot, taking long-haul flights for a commercial airline when he's not performing with the band. He's written filmed screenplays, is fascinated by history, and represented his country at fencing. Oh, and he has a regular show on BBC Six Music too. This is the third time, I think, in 2 years that you've been here. Do you have a special affection for this country?
Well, I think most people in England probably have a special affection for India because most of us know somebody who's Indian. And obviously there's so many cultural links between the countries, from the cricket, which we're not very good at, to everything else, that yes, there is, I think there is a special affection for India. I mean, I certainly feel more at home here than I do in the United States.
And in terms of culture here, do you try and imbibe as much of that as you can when you're here?
It would be lovely to have the time, actually. I'm actually thinking of coming back here because there's a couple of phenomenal railway journeys you can do for about 2 weeks that take in loads and loads of India, which have nothing to do with rock and roll, but everything to do with seeing the country. I did used to fly to the Taj Mahal, actually. We used to fly to Agra with the airline I work for. So seeing the Taj Mahal several times over the course of several months was quite a privilege, I thought.
How would you compare the Indian fan, your Indian fan base, to, say, the fan base in South America or in other parts of the world?
Well, in one sense, they're remarkably similar in that they're all unbelievably fanatical about the band. It's something which, like all great fan movements, they produced it themselves. So when we came here, we went, I wonder what it's going to be like. But of course, it was absolutely phenomenal. I mean, when we first came here, we first came to Bangalore, and were promptly told that we were number 1 and number 2 in the Indian charts. It depended which bit of India you went to, but we thought that was pretty good. But now it appears that we're outselling both the Beatles and the Rolling Stones in terms of back catalogue, which the guy from EMI told us, and they should know because they have both bands on their roster, We're
backstage, and Iron Maiden have just trooped up the steps, getting ready for their act. The audience obviously know they're about to come on. Bruce Dickinson is jogging behind stage, getting ready, and even I've got a little tingle down my back. This is going to be good. It's no accident that Iron Maiden win plaudits for their live shows. Quite simply, from the opening chords, this is pure showmanship. The crowd are in raptures from the outset and singing the words to every song. There are elements of high camp, vaudeville, and even knowing irony in their performance. The considered, articulate Bruce that I encountered earlier is a man transformed. He springs around the stage, scaling the speaker stacks, vanishing and then reappearing in different military and gladiatorial guises at every turn. But he hasn't forgotten his promise.
Once more, we've got some friends here from all over. We've got some friends from Poland. Yeah, I see you. Hello. We've even got a spy down the front here. Oh yeah. Got a young lady helping out with a English radio programme called Radio 4. She's a metal fan. They've been interviewing her today to find out why is it that India loves Iron Maiden? So this is I think it's the only time we've played this in India. It's one of the few times we ever play this song now. This is a song called Children of the Damned.
The show is a triumph. The fans leave ecstatic, exhausted and fulfilled. Back at the band's 5-star hotel, Iron Maiden's shrewd, no-nonsense manager Rod Smallwood lets me into a secret.
We could go somewhere else. and make a lot more money. But you know, you don't just want to play, you know, London, New York, Paris, Stockholm all the time. I mean, you know, if different parts of the world vary a lot. A lot of the so-called third world or the lesser developed countries, then they tend to be poorer, so your ticket price is much lower, which means the gross is much lower, but some of the expenses can be the same. So there isn't the same amount of income in those sort of territories as there would be, you know, nearer home or in America. But we don't really like that. We like to go to new places. We like to fly the flag. We like to play to those kids. We think just because they're there, they've got as much right as anybody else to see the band. And in many ways, they're keener to because they don't get things all the time. In fact, they get very little.
But do you believe that there is potential here for it to be, for other bands, maybe not Iron Maiden, in the future, a market they should think very seriously about?
We're quite odd. We don't look at things from a marketing standpoint. We look at things from what we want to do. And I have to say to any band, when you can go anywhere in the world with fantastic audiences, which they are here, then you do it. I mean, in terms of long-term investment, that's the job of the record companies and the accountants, to be honest. We really don't think that way, and never have, and well, certainly won't start now. You know, it's not much of an answer, but that's the reality of it.
Rod and his team now apply their minds with usual military precision to the next stage of their itinerary on this epic world tour.